Okay, we are live. So first off, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm doing good. I can't complain. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. It's just I'm still trying to adjust being a creative during this pandemic.
hmm
How are you being able to thrive and keep your creative juices flowing during this?
Honestly, to be honest, like I just been writing a lot. I've been like working on my scripts and stuff like that. It's been because we were actually supposed to start filming around this time, so it's like it's a bummer, but it's like what can we do?
Oh my goodness! So is this the sequel or a series to the Living It Up movie?
This was gonna be the sequel to the Living Up movie.
Okay, so yeah, that sucks because I
Yeah.
would definitely be anticipating that. So while we're live, why don't you tell people about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and
hmm
started directing and acting?
So I'm from Rock Hill, South Carolina. It's like 15, 20 minutes outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. Um, I am. I've been interested in like filmmaking since I was like probably 12 years old. So I've been interested in like acting and directing, writing and stuff like that since I was like 12 when I first like wrote my first like script at home. And from Charlotte, like we have a lot of talent out here as far as like people who are interested in like music and filming and stuff like that. So out here I think it's a great space, but I've been. It's hard. It's like it's hard to maintain like your everyday job on top of like doing like web series shows and movies and stuff like that. But me and my friends, we try to get things done for our fans because they keep us motivated and keep us going as far as like just always messages us like what's next, what's the next part coming out and stuff like that. We want to know what's coming next, and so yeah, we try to keep going. But here in Rock Hill, we are have like a lot of great spaces as far as like where we can film and stuff like that. And Charlotte, of course, is a great space. So it's been trying to maintain, like I said.
Wow, I mean, yeah, it sounds like a lot. So you say that you started wanting to, well, doing the acting, and even so the directing at the age of 12.
hmm
Who
At the
was
age of
doing?
at the age of 12, I was I remember I was at one of my mom and dad's friend's house, and it was like New Year's Eve or something, and I was like at my computer, and like I had like this story I just wanted to tell, and I was on my laptop, and I was like just started like writing like this long like all these like paragraphs and stuff, and like I put it together like in this like this story, but it was like a script basically, and like my dad had read it, and he was like, you just came up with this? And I was like, yeah, like I wanted to like, I don't know, act it out for you guys or something. Like it was weird, but it was like it was something I always like have been interested in since I was like little. I don't know where it came from, but it was just like I like telling stories like from when I was like at a very young age.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting because the same with me, like growing up, like when most kids was like playing games and stuff, I was always writing or doing something in entertainment. So
Yeah.
it's in us, and you could tell when someone was born to do this. And I after I watched that movie, I was like, I'm not even just saying this for cap. I was like, this is some good shit. I want to know, like, what were you thinking when you came up with that whole storyline and concept? It was perfect.
So honestly, when we started, so with Living It Up, we started as a web series show, and we did 4 seasons. So when after season 4, I I was just ready to switch up like the format that we were doing because doing the show it's fun, but it takes so long to do because we're doing like 10 episodes one season. Each episode is like an hour long, so it just takes a long time to film. And so I had brought up the idea like let's do a movie because it'll be easier as far as time goes. Like we could just like have a point A to point B, you know what I'm saying, just to get it finished. And it was more so that's something that I was more so interested in. Like I wanted to do movies more than I wanted to do shows, basically.
Okay.
So when I came up with the concept of the movie, I wrote 3 different scripts for it. So like the first script I wrote for it, I wanted everybody from the show to be a part of it. Like from seasons 1 through 4, I wanted everybody to come back as to play a part some way. But the ones of us who you saw in the movie is how it basically boiled down to just us. Um, so when I wrote it, I was like, okay, some of the stuff I was like, I know we can do this, but I'm like, I don't know how we're gonna get this done. But I was, because it was the challenge was basically getting it to look like a movie. I didn't want it to look like the show. I wanted it to look like an actual, like an
Oh,
actual movie. So it was um it was a challenge, but it was so much fun. We had a lot of fun with it.
it looked like it was a lot of fun. It had comedy in it. It was
Hmm.
sad. It was kind of like, no, she didn't. Um, it was your typical, like, what we go through as friends,
Right.
and
Yeah.
a lot of people don't touch up on it, or they scared to touch up on it. But when you directed this movie, I want to know what was one or two of your favorite scenes from this movie, because there were a lot of good scenes. What are two of your favorite ones that stood out?
Oh wow. I would have to say one of my favorites definitely was it's kind of like the main conflict of the story, but it's when my character is sitting down with Christelle, Chris, and we're all sitting at the dinner table, and basically my character is kind of confessing to them a lie that I told everybody, and it was that scene in particular. We had the most takes because we could not stop laughing at each at each other. It was so funny because we had to shoot like everybody separately, like to get the takes or whatever. But
Uh-huh.
reacting to what everybody's saying instead of saying, it was funny. So we did so many takes because we could not pull it together long enough to finish the scene from laughing at each other.
That
So
was a
that
good
one
scene, though.
that one was fun just to do, but it came out great. Like seeing it in the movie, like it came out good, but behind the scenes, it was more so the best. Like it was fun to film it because it was so funny. And the second one probably would be towards the end. The whole end sequence was just is really. I feel like it was really we put it together really good.
Yes.
From my character when he fell out to the premiere scene with some other friends and
Yeah.
everything. It just fell into place like really really good. And like it's one thing when you film something and you're like, okay, I hope it turns out the way I'm imagining it. But when I edited it together and like put it together, it blew my mind like how we were able to accomplish it basically.
Yes. And Chris, that's the
Hmm.
best friend in the movie, right?
Yes, Chris is my best friend in the movie.
He was really good too. He tried to keep it so calm. I loved his energy. But I'm being nosy. Are you guys a couple in real life?
No, we just his name is Justin in real life. Justin is really my best friend. We've been friends since 2013. He actually we became friends because of the show. When we were casting for the first season, I needed someone to play my boyfriend, and Chris was my boyfriend on the show. So we had mutual friends that knew each other, and so someone had asked him if he wanted to be a part of the show, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm down," because he had watched it. And so, to make a long story short, before back then, he didn't have a car, so he lived like a couple blocks from me. So I would go pick him up, and we would ride to Charlotte together to go film. And so that's how we kind of like bonded and got to know each other. And we've been best friends ever since. So yeah, that's like my real life best friend.
Because the chemistry was undeniable. I was like, they really did so good. Even though I felt bad for the other person too, because I feel like
Yeah.
that person's feelings was there. So it's a great love story. What
Hmm.
what would you say your favorite movie genre is?
Actually, my favorite movie genre is horror. I
Mine
love ri-
too.
Really, I love writing horror movies. I love watching horror. That's my favorite. That's my favorite genre. I actually like. I would love to make a horror movie specifically for YouTube and to get it out eventually. That's one of the things we want to do. But
Mhm.
that's my favorite genre.
I would love to see you do that. And
I'm
if you
I'm
please.
I'm determined. I tried to film my first horror movie. I tried to film back in 2013 too. I was a senior in high school, and that actually was going to be the start of my YouTube channel, but it didn't work out. But I would love to return to it and try to redo it.
Wow. So how long did it take you to write the script and actually wrap up the filming. People don't know that could be a very lengthy process.
Mm-hmm.
Film writing is not easy.
Yeah, it definitely can. Like I said, doing the show, it definitely takes a long time. And when we did the movie, I started writing the script in 2018. It probably took me like 2 months to just finish, to finish the whole thing. And because, like I said, I went through 3 outlines of it. So
Right.
once I finished the one we actually used, I was like, okay, y'all, this is what we're gonna do. We'll start filming on this date and whatever. We started filming November of 2018, and we finished. Well, I want to say we finished filming. It was probably like around April, because originally the movie was going to come out in April of 2019, but we didn't finish. And we finished, but there was a scene that we had shot that I didn't like how it turned out, so we reshot it, and so I pushed the release date back. And but yeah, it wasn't as long as, of course, from the show. It took longer for me to edit the movie together, because again, I wanted it to have the feel and the look of an actual movie. So I took more time of actually putting it together and making sure everything came out the way I wanted it to look and to feel, and the music and the transitions and everything. I really paid attention to the detail, I guess.
Yeah, because I did like a lot of the music. Did you
Mm.
know you knew a lot of those artists that you used?
Yeah, I use
Nice.
Doja Cat, one of my favorites. SZA. Yeah, a lot of people that are like popping off now. It's funny,
Yes.
but yeah, it's some of the music like I actually would hear before we started filming, and like I would think about the scene I wanted to go on top of it. So, like we have one scene that's at the beach, and like I envisioned the scene when I heard the song that I want to go, in that scene. So that's sometimes how it works out too. It's like when you hear something or something may inspire something that, you want to write down or something like that. So that's how
Wow.
some of the things actually turned out.
Nice. So who are some film directors that influence you? I know Jordan Peele is one of the ones that stick out to mind. I'm just
Hmm.
um, very intrigued with his work. Who are
Yeah.
some people that inspire you as far as film directors?
Well, because I was a horror film fanatic, of course, growing up, I loved like Wes Craven and John Carpenter and, Stephen King. Like I loved reading his books and stuff like that. Um, but of course, a lot of people may make jokes on Twitter, but Tyler Perry is also an inspiration to us, to our community.
Yes, he is though. Look
Yeah,
how
he really no, he really is.
dope.
We really gotta give him his prop. He's a legend like in our community, so I gotta give him. He's an inspiration as well. But yeah, just all kind of like like I said, I'm more so influenced by a lot of horror directors,
Mhm.
from like back in the day. But yeah, Jordan Peele is definitely someone who I'm definitely inspired by more recently, though. He's definitely killing it.
Yes, he is. That dark
Hmm.
horror. And then for me, growing up, I didn't see a lot of black people, like a predominantly black cast in a horror
Yeah.
film. It's like one or two characters, they get killed off quick. And
Right.
in stories, I love the fact that like the black person is actually surviving long.
Right. Right. Exactly. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is just a up real and close personal question for you. I have a really good friend, and we talk about this all the time.
Hmm.
We feel like the Hollywood industry market need to highlight more gay film directors. I feel like it's almost like you might hear about it, or maybe people are afraid to be themselves. But I mean, how do you feel the industry looks at gay film directors, or do you think they should be highlighted more? Like, what's your go on that?
I think. I think for one, I think we are going in a positive direction. As far as us being, represented, I would love to see more, because there's definitely, gay directors in Hollywood, but I would love to see more films based on, our lives, and more so not focused on the sexual aspect, but more so like just the real stories. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like we're more than just that. I feel like there's a lot of other stories that could be told from our perspective, and I would like to see more of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's a shortage of gay representation in Hollywood. I think it'll be nice to see more of that translated to film. Like it's great that we have shows like Pose that are not, you know, being canceled. They're still going strong on, I think, their third season now. But it would be nice to see more of that, like, you know, to translate to film too, from the African American standpoint too, because we don't get a lot of that. We get a lot of the other, but not from our point of view though.
You know what? And you said that so perfectly, because I would like to see a gay perspective and point of view myself, and not just so much like you say a sex craze or the crazy
Yeah,
island wanting to fight, because that's not every person. Every gay person is not like that.
yeah, that's like
It's
one part of it,
unfair.
and I think, you know, and like with certain things, like of course, I feel like of course sex sells. We all know that, and I
Right.
think sex scenes can elevate a story in some instances, but I don't feel like that always has to be the main focal point. I think that's why a lot of people love the film like Moonlight. It wasn't so much highlighting the sexual aspect. There were, you know, hints of it there, here and there, but
Mhm.
it still was a love story, and I think it would have been great to get more films like that.
Too. So you see yourself definitely continuing making films so that people can see that perspective.
Yeah, that's definitely a goal of mine. Even with doing Living It Up, I know we had the one scene, it was kind of a sex scene, but it really wasn't. And I felt like what we showed was just enough. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have to be explicit or take away the focus of the rest of the story. I felt like we did just enough, and it paid off for the story itself. So I definitely want to do more things like that. I don't want to go down that. I feel like there's enough of that being shown. So I feel like it's okay for us to show the other side of it.
And see, I totally agree with you. Would you ever have you thought about submitting this film to Black film festivals?
I have. I actually have. I didn't expect, to be honest, I didn't expect the movie to get as many views as it did and to get the response that it did. Like, I was just more so, I was just more so focused on the fans of the show, wanted to give them something that they could enjoy and stuff like that. But to get the response that we got back from it, it's the most viewed video we have on the whole channel, and still getting a lot of views even today. So I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that response, but yeah, I definitely have thought about it, and um, just the future, basically, just thinking of like the next project, how I can make it better and make it bigger, and you know, just to take it from there, because you never know who's watching.
You never know who is watching. You're
You
right. You can get a sponsor in
right.
a minute. It's crazy. So we talked about your directing. I
Hmm.
want to know now, how did you get into acting? Because I can tell that you've done acting as well. Some people do films and they try to act and you look like,
Hmm.
you actually act good.
Hmm.
How
Thank
did you
you.
get into acting?
So I got into acting. I I'm more so on the I like being behind the scenes. Um I didn't expect to like editing as much as I did. So when we started season one of Living It Up, back in 2013, my character was actually supposed to be just a small minor role, but because we had to change up the story, I became more of like a major, like a main character, and so that's where my practice in acting kind of started. And of course, I was like in, you know, drama class in high school and stuff like that, and I I like the craft of acting. Like if I could go to acting school or something like that, like I would love to go, because I like to understand the from a director standpoint, I would like to understand the actor side of it as well, if that makes sense. Like I
Yeah,
would like to understand the craft and the art of acting so I could be a better director in that sense. But acting is fun. It's nice to play. It's nice to play a different in a different world and to do, you know, different circumstances under like, okay, I want it to come out this way and maybe it will come out this way or something like that. So it's been interesting, like growing my character over the years, and people, when they meet me, they expect me to be like my character, and then I'm like kind of like the opposite, and it's like, but I take it as a compliment because I put a lot of time into them.
yeah. I was wondering how close to that character are you in real life? Like, are you like that? Because
Hmm.
you were something else, like very nonchalant, kind of like, I don't care.
Yeah, my character Nico, like when I meet people for the first time, they were like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna be like a bitchy or kind of like snobby or kind of like just deceitful and something." Like, no, I'm more like just easygoing and laid back. My character is he's kind of on top of everything, but I feel like he tries to portray himself to be too perfect sometimes. But I'm really more so easygoing than I feel like my character is. But yeah, there's some similarities between me and him, but not a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I had to ask that because sometimes people play their role so good, and you be like, I want to see
Right,
like real.
right. Like, who is this person in real life? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just a kudos to you because, like you said, you want to bring the character to life, and I think as far as an actor or actress, it's your job to make me feel like you're really selling this to me. So you
Right,
did
right.
great on
Yeah.
that. So who are your
Thank
favorite?
you.
You're welcome. Who's your favorite actor? Who's your favorite actress?
Hmm. My favorite actor, I've always been a fan of Will Smith. I feel like he can play anything. Um, that's just from growing up, and even today, he also just seems like a person who's like, he's like the good guy you imagine him to be. But I feel like he could play anything. Um, Actress, I would have to say, I would love to. Okay, just one actress, Kiki Palmer. I'm a huge fan of her. I feel like she's underrated, but I would love to meet her because she just her vibe and her energy. She's someone I would love to film with because she's just like she's relatable, but she just seems like somebody I know like in real life. Um, but as far as like I love Angela Bassett.
Oh yes, my
Um,
favorite.
yeah, Angela Bassett. Of course, like just we have a lot of icons right now. Some new people that are coming up, I feel like are really good too. Um, but like Denzel Washington and all of the other icons and stuff like that. But we got some people that's coming up now, like that's like Michael B. Jordan and stuff. I feel like we got some people that's coming up that are really really good as well.
Yes, I totally agree. Hopefully they keep doing that thing, and hopefully you'll be able to join them too because you're just as great. Like
Oh,
seriously,
thank you.
you're welcome. I think it's just a matter of the right people seeing you do what you do, and just keep promoting and pushing and networking. Um,
Hmm.
2020 has been very rough. It has been a very rough start. What's crazy is that we're not even halfway into 2020.
Hmm.
So, as a creator and innovator, what would you say is going to be your main goal just for 2020, as far as your dreams and ambitions?
Just for 2020, like I said, it's been interesting, and we don't know like how long the current like pandemic is going to like last. But my original goal, like I wanted to do two movies this year. Um, One being the Livin' Up sequel, that's going to be the final one. Still have that as a goal. I wanted to finish out the series with that. So as of just right now, I'm just focusing just on writing and just staying positive and staying like clear minded and just staying inspired. I feel like this is also a good time for creatives just to get inspired and to take the time to kind of map out what they want to do, or plot what they want to do. Figure out what their next move can be. So as of right now, my main goal is just to finish some of the things I'm writing now, and hopefully, if we can get back to being outside and stuff, hopefully, I would love to get just one at least one project out this year, that I've been writing, and working on. I'd love to just get something out. But even if we do or we don't, like I said, my main goal is just to stay inspired, keep writing, have things ready to go when we can get back to filming again.
And I'm hoping, like I'm like crossing my fingers, praying every day this is over with because I could do the social distance thing for so long, but like people like us, it's kind of like
Hmm.
entertainment. You have to really kind of be hands on.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And it's and it's not just us. It's even like the big movie studios. They've had to push back their schedules and their movies and their events and their stuff like that. And that's what makes it so crazy. It's kind of like we're all on pause right now.
Yeah.
So it's important to not let it make you go crazy. But like I said, just staying inspired. I see stuff online every day that inspires me. So I try to like focus on just to keep doing what I'm doing. My friends, they're excited to get back to having fun and filming again, so I know they're going to be down once we can get back to it. But it's crazy, but it's we gotta, I guess, make it through.
Yes, and I know you're a Beyonce fan as well. You said world pause. I saw a meme that said I need Beyonce to say world start.
Right, right, exactly. Something.
We need some help, B.
Right, we do. We really do.
But seriously, you're doing a great job. Like, do you think that you would make this into a play? Because I do see a lot of film directors make their movies into a play because you could
Hmm.
also go on a road and get, that would be another way of getting this movie out.
That's true. Yeah, I had someone talk to me about that like a few years ago. They asked me if I was ever interested in doing like plays and stuff like that. Um, I would actually be. I love the whole process of like doing casting calls and all of that.
Mm,
But yeah, doing is another form of like promotion. It's another form of promoting yourself, which I think is important, especially when you're starting out or when you're a small creator and stuff like that. I think it's important to kind of take advantage of any outlet or any avenue that you possibly can. So that's something I would be interested in doing.
hmm. Yeah, keep me posted if you do that. Keep me posted. I know
Yeah.
some people that have like connections with the studios and
Hmm.
places, and even movies like independent movies. They have actual theaters that let the movie play for months at a time, and
Right.
it be sold out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I really see people coming and going to go see living it up.
Right. 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 Our fans, they've been really supportive of us, like I said, since the beginning. They might not like me saying that the next one is probably gonna be the last one, but
Oh,
it's the plan is for the next movie to be, it's called The Final Chapter, and I want it to be, a I always wanted Living Up to have a beginning and an end. So I didn't want it to just keep going and keep going. I feel like it would have been kind of going backwards if we did another season. So I was like, why don't we just do a final movie to kind of like wrap up everybody's storyline? And I think it's dope to say that we would have 4 full seasons of the show and 2 movies. I think that'll be like a major accomplishment for us,
yeah.
that the fans could appreciate, and then maybe from there we could like figure something else out. 3 years, it'll be like 10 years since we've been doing Living It Up, and so I think maybe it'll be dope to do like a 10-year anniversary kind of special. Maybe then in
Yeah, that would be
2023 we'll have
nice.
to. Yeah, we'll have to see. That's something I would love to see. That I would love to do the next movie and then maybe do like a 10-year special for everybody.
Ooh, that would be real cool. I like that
Yeah.
idea. And just come out with, even though the cast might be upset that the living it up is getting ready to go away, but maybe y'all
Yeah.
can do something different, like a whole.
Well, yeah, that's the plan. Even though Living It Up, even though I'm planning for the next one to be the last one, I want to do. It's always been my goal to make my channel more than just Living It Up. I've always want to do like more movies and other shows. So that's the plan, is for to close out Living It Up so that we can do other shows, other movies, tell other stories, and do bigger things too. So the next one will be a big event, because if it's gonna be the last one, you got to go big, of course. But
Okay.
yeah, so that's the plan. But I'm ready to start that next chapter and telling other stories and doing other things. And the first movie was a huge success, so even if that was the last one, I would have been satisfied with that. But I really want to tell other stories and do other things and play other characters and get into other things.
Okay. And what would you say if you look at your career from the beginning that you started up until the current day and time? What has been the biggest challenge that you think you face?
The biggest challenge, honestly, the biggest challenge always has been, I think a lot of creators can relate to this, but I think being consistent has always been the biggest challenge. Figuring out, what's next, where do I go from here, um, how do I get started, basically. Um, I've been lucky and I've been blessed to have friends that are very supportive of my dreams. So as soon as I'm like, "Hey guys, I want to film something," they're like, "Okay, let's do it." Like, what are we doing? Like, they're supportive and they're down for whatever. Um, but also, as we get older, it's our scheduling gets a little bit hectic, and so that's also a big challenge, is working around everybody's schedule and being able to link up and to film together and stuff like that. So that's another reason why we weren't able to do Living Up season 5, because again, it takes so long to do, and with our schedules, it just wasn't going to work out. So it was easier for us to do, to do the movie. But yeah, that's just really the biggest challenge, is staying consistent, working around, your everyday life and your schedule and stuff like that. But I feel like when you're really passionate about something, you find a way. You work around it. You make it. You make time for what really is important to you. Like I said, even if you got two friends that support you, that's all you need. So if anybody out there, if anybody out there that wants to start a channel, wants to start their own show, has an idea that they want to get started in, I've had people message me and ask me, like, how did you get started on doing this? Because I always wanted to do something like this. And I'm like, start what you have. Like, even if you don't have the best camera, start with your phone. Your iPhone has a great camera, for iPhones today. So if you got two people that support you, that's all you need. And you just work up from there.
That is so true. That was my next question, was like advice that you would give to somebody on the up on the rise. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's true. You got to start with the resources around you.
Yeah, you got to start with the resources around you. Don't get discouraged because you don't get discouraged because you don't meet the expectation that you expect right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at it kind of like as a video game. That's how I used to look at it. Like, I started at level 1. I feel like I'm on level 5 right now. Like, you gotta keep upgrading, keep getting better at what you're doing. If I didn't start back in 2013, I wouldn't know the skills and some of the stuff I know how to do now.
Right.
So don't be afraid to start with what you have and what you know how to do, because you can get better at it. You can ask for help. Your audience is going to give you feedback. Our fans, they give us great constructive criticism as far as like what they like to see and what we can do better in. And we take that, feedback and we use it for whatever we do next.
That's true. That's true. Well, why don't you give everyone your social media information so that they can follow you and keep posted with everything you have going on?
Sure. So my YouTube channel is YDRENT. That's where you can watch Living Up the Movie and any other projects we have coming up. You can follow me on Instagram at For Real Ronnie, the letter 4, number 4, Lord have mercy, For Real Ronnie, and also Twitter _ For Real Ronnie. You can follow me as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your interview. Like, we gotta do this again, because sometimes I have shows where I just talk about a topic and I just invite people and past guests to come in and just talk with me and vibe out with me. So we'll have to do this again.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely down for that. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome, and I'll keep you in my prayers and stay, motivating, uplifting, and inspiring, because you definitely caught my attention. Can you let people know where they can find the movie and the name of it, just in case they didn't hear it?
Sure. So it's Living It Up the Movie. We have 4 seasons in the movie, but you can go to YDRENT. It's the YouTube channel name. And like I said, we have over 50 episodes from the first 4 seasons, and we have the whole movie. So Living Up the Movie. You can also find it on IMDb, the International Movie Database. It's also on there. You can find it, Living Up the Movie.
All right. Well, thank you again, Ronnie. You have a great one.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
You too.